Deep thoughts, shallow host. Hey, welcome back to the asylum, you beautiful lunatics. It's your Uncle Bob coming at you live from a room that is padded for your protection, not mine.
All right, so I've been doing some research, and by research, I mean I locked myself in the garage with some flat soda and a book written by a couple of absolute head cases. And these guys, they try to connect a sweaty war movie to, I don't know, the entire universe collapsing into a spreadsheet or something. So yeah, let's get into it.
So the whole thing kind of kicks off with this line right here about the Vietnam War. It's from this book, Dispatches, and it's all about that feeling. You know the one? That little suspicion in the back of your head that the people in charge have no idea what they're doing. That the whole operation is just held together with duct tape and, I don't know, wishful thinking. That's the vibe. That's our starting point. And the movie Apocalypse Now, it took that feeling and just ran with it, all the way up the river.
Now look, for any of you who haven't seen the movie, the plot is pretty simple. You got this soldier, Willard. He gets a mission. It's all very off the books, very hush-hush. The job? Go up the Nung River. Find this Colonel Kurtz fella who's gone completely off the reservation and, terminate his command with extreme prejudice. Simple, right? Yeah, sure it is.
Okay, this is where the fellas who wrote this thing I've been reading, this is where they go completely off the deep end. They start going on and on about something called the body without organs. I know. It sounds like a bad horror movie, or what's left in my fridge after my nephew visits. But stick with me here, because this is the first big, weird idea we gotta try and figure out.
Right? What does that even mean? The body without organs? Is it a ghost? Is it a puddle of something? Did somebody's brain just melt into a bag of wet squirrels? They're trying to describe something fundamental, something that's supposed to be underneath everything else.
Okay, so here it is, the official definition from the book. I'm going to read this to you word for word. The body without organs is the matter that always fills space to given degrees of intensity. The immanent substance, matter as intensity equals 0. Yeah, me too. Makes about as much sense as a waterproof tea bag.
So here's Uncle Bob's translation. The way I get it is this. Think of it like a giant cosmic block of clay. It's just stuff, right? It hasn't been shaped yet. You haven't decided if you're going to make a coffee mug for your boss or a really, really terrible ashtray for your cousin Eddie. It's just pure, raw potential. That's it.
And here's the perfect example. The rotisserie chicken rack at Costco, right? Before they get bagged and priced and slapped with a label, it's just a chaotic, spinning wall of greasy, delicious possibility. That is the body without organs. Pure, unorganized, chicken-scented chaos.
So you might be asking, why would anybody want to get back to that raw, chaotic state? Well, according to these writers, it's because being organized, being a person, being this meat puppet, is a real drag. And this is where they get all cyberpunk on us, talking about how great it would be to ditch the body and just live inside the machine.
And get a load of their list of complaints. They say the body is clumsily underdesigned, techno-industrially pressure-cooked, and my personal favorite, tortured, shredded zombie meat. I mean, they're not wrong. That sounds exactly how I feel after trying to assemble a piece of IKEA furniture on a Tuesday. I get it. You want out.
So this all sets up the main event, right? The original grudge match of human history. In one corner, you've got the shamans, the ancient explorers of all that chaos. And in the other corner, you've got something they call Oedipus, which is basically their fancy word for society, for rules, for all the forces that try to keep you in your boring little box. And here's the breakdown. The shaman, he wants to explore, to become an animal, to dive headfirst into that rotisserie chicken chaos. But society, Oedipus, is all about building security systems. Don't touch that, don't eat that, don't marry your mother, all that stuff. It's the ultimate explorer versus the ultimate bureaucrat.
And listen, you don't just, fill out an application to become a shaman. No. The initiation process is, it's intense. To get in touch with that raw, chaotic energy, you have to be completely taken apart first, literally.
So what's this makeover involve? First, you get cut up into little pieces. Then, your heart gets ripped out and thrown in a pot. Your head gets forged, your bones are cleaned up and put back together with iron, and you get a new skin. To me, that sounds less like a spiritual journey and more like trying to cancel your cable subscription. By the end of it, you feel like you've been disassembled and put back together by a committee of people who hate you.
And then on the other side, you've got this guy, Oedipus, the force of order. And this is how the book describes him. He's just a box, glued to a screen, watching all the chaos unfold, but absolutely terrified of it. He's the ultimate party pooper, the cosmic hall monitor, making sure nobody has too much unorganized fun.
So Oedipus is famous for solving this one riddle from a creature called the Sphinx. You all know this one, right? What walks on 4 legs, then 2, then 3? And the answer is, of course, man, right? Crawling as a baby, walking as an adult, then using a cane when you're old. Easy peasy.
But these head cases I'm reading, they've got an update. For them, the new answer is an animal, a human, and a cyborg. It's the whole story of our evolution, from our primal animal state to our organized human society, and finally into our future where we all merge with technology. The whole journey, right there in one riddle.
And that brings us to the final boss in this whole thing, capitalism. See, the old societies, the kings and the priests, they tried to repress all that chaos, to build walls against it. But capitalism, oh no. Capitalism doesn't fight the chaos. It unleashes it. It thrives on it. It's the ultimate berserker. According to these guys, capitalism is this force that comes from the outside and just dissolves everything. Old traditions, family ties, sacred laws, all of it gets melted down into one universal flowing substance. Cold, hard cash. Everything is for sale, everything could be broken down and turned into a current of money. And this is the engine that drives it. You've got workers who've been totally disconnected from their land and traditions, they're free and naked, with nothing to sell but their time. And then you have money that's been disconnected from gold or anything real. It's just a pure abstract current. And when those two things meet, boom, the whole world starts to spin faster and faster.
And this is their vision of where it all ends up. A world run by corporations. Coke and Pepsi are the two main political parties. Philip Morris is selling government-approved clean crack. The economy's humming along, but society has just completely rotted from the inside out, and violence is everywhere. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
You know, this all reminds me of a little run-in I had the other day. I'm at the gas station, right? And I want a bag of chips. It's simple, a primal, chaotic desire for salt and grease. So I put my dollar in the vending machine, this perfect little organized system, this little Oedipus box full of snacks. And the little coil, it turns maybe half an inch, and it stops. My chips are just hanging there, trapped. My chaotic desire is being repressed by this stupid machine's rules. So I start talking to it, then I start shaking it. Before I know it, I'm in a full-blown war with a box of metal and glass just trying to unleash the snack-based chaos that it holds within. I didn't get the chips, the machine won. Order triumphs again.
And that brings us all the way back to the jungle, back to Willard at the end of the river. He's finally reached Kurtz. And by this point, the mission, the army, the rules, none of it matters anymore. He's shedding his organized self, his Willard skin. He's scraping away his own face to become part of the chaos that Kurtz has totally embraced. He's finally stepping into that body without organs.
So I guess I'll just leave you with this question. After all this talk about getting cut up into pieces, exploring the cosmos, becoming pure energy, what if it doesn't work out? What if you go through all that, you get taken apart and put back together only to end up as a disembodied voice in a little plastic cylinder? Is your Alexa just the ghost of a shaman who took a wrong turn at the cosmic crossroads and is now doomed to an eternity of adding paper towels to my shopping list? Huh? Think about it. Now get out of here, you beautiful lunatics.